What is going on, guys? Threat VCS coming at you with another video, and today we're going to be talking about a couple other things that I've been investing into recently. I actually invested a little bit into what we're going to be talking about sort of around the shattered web, when all that stuff came out. I didn't invest very heavily into it, which is why I haven't talked about it yet, because I was sort of unsure, but I've seen a few other people, talk about this and talk about the possibility of these things becoming, rising in value, and yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Don't mind my rank. It is, crippling depression. Anyway, so what we're talking about today are the CS20 collection as a whole. For example, and what I'm going to briefly talk about here is actually the Dragon Lore foil. See, I actually bought 3 of these around the same time that I bought all these gold web foils. But these things could be the next big thing, I think, if those capsules are ever discontinued, which is a pretty decent possibility. We know Valve likes to screw with us sometimes and they won't discontinue something like this, but it is a possibility, being that it is the CS20 capsule. It kind of seems weird to me why going into 2021 they would keep that around. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm crazy, but a lot of other people seem to think the same thing, so that's sort of why I'm talking about it today, because I was sort of unsure about these investments myself, but I have been buying into it just as sort of a gamble. And again, most of this stuff is a gamble to begin with. You're investing into a video game. Any investment is sort of a gamble. Some are a better gamble than others, and this is one of those ones that I was kind of unsure about, but I have a few of those. Didn't invest heavily into those. You can get them for like $12 on BitSkins. I think they're like $16 on the Steam market. So decent buy. That is something that if those capsules ever get discontinued and become more scarce, I could totally see those being a $300 or $400 sticker or more, depending on how rare they are. But another thing that I've been buying into that's a little bit cheaper for some of you guys that are on a budget are these CS20 cases. Right now on the Steam market, I think they were at 10 cents last time I checked. I've been picking these up piece by piece, sort of on BitSkins for 7 or 8 cents. So I would definitely suggest, if you're buying these, to try to buy them on a third-party site. You will save a couple dollars here and there. But I have about 171 of these waiting to be tradable on BitSkins right now. So definitely not a horrible idea. Same thing with these. I think it's a possibility that if these were discontinued, it would be a pretty popular item, being that it is a consumable and it has some pretty cool skins, like the classic knife. We got the Commemoration FAMAS, pretty cool skin, and also the AWP Wildfire, which I think is a phenomenal skin. So it has some good potential if it were ever discontinued. I heard somebody say, well, I could totally see this going up to $1. Well, yeah, I totally could too. Depending on how scarce it becomes. A lot of times cases can take a little bit of time to rise in value, being that, there's a lot more of them. So right now I think there's like 300,000 plus of these CS20 cases on the market right now. So definitely not a horrible investment idea. I think long term, pretty much any case, and this is what's crazy, is most CSGO items are going to go up over time. It just seems to happen that way. I have items in here that I got for nothing, and now they're worth, $20 or $30. For example, these souvenir skins, kind of a random side trail, rabbit trail here, but these things I was picking up for, I think I got this for maybe $1. And these things are super popular now, and people, I get DMs and comments all the time asking if I would trade my Katowice stuff, especially this USP. Got this USP for like, I don't know, $7 or $8 at the time. It has like a pretty good float for field tested. This is what I'm saying though, guys, is depending on what you're buying for CSGO investing, it's probably going to rise in value as long as the game sticks around. But these CS20 cases, I think, have a pretty decent potential of getting discontinued. It is definitely speculation. All of this is speculation. We have no idea what Valve is going to do. They like to yank our chain with stuff like this a lot. So it's just a possibility, something to keep in mind. Another thing to buy, pretty much any of these holos I think aren't a bad decision, but the capsule itself, you can get these on third-party sites for 79 cents, 80 cents, $1. I mean, they're $1 right here. I would suggest investing by purchasing them on third-party sites or even off the Steam market, because every time you buy from this menu, it does bring more into existence, which would in turn make it more difficult for these to rise in value. So the less of these that are in existence, the better. So if you're buying on third-party sites or you're buying on the Steam market, it is going to help keep these at a lower, a lower existence, I guess, or yeah, it'll make them a little bit rarer to do that. And that actually brings me to another topic that I would like to talk about later once we get a little bit closer to the next major. But a lot of people will go out and purchase, you know, a bunch of stickers from the menu here. And that's something that I personally, because if you can get it for less money, obviously you would buy from this menu. That makes sense for you personally. But what I was doing before is I was going on the Steam market and checking, just check, because a lot of times those same stickers, once the sale happens and everything, are the same price or a little bit less. And the same thing with third-party sites. You can get them for less. Now, you may not be able to buy as many, so whatever you can't buy off of the Steam market or third-party sites, you could definitely purchase off of the menu, but it does help keep those numbers down, because we want those numbers to go down. We want it to gain a scarcity, so your investment sort of explodes. So just some things to keep in mind, guys. I think the CS20 collection is definitely a good idea. It's definitely in the works, definitely in the early stages of investing, which is a good time to catch it if I'm right and if some of the other guys I was watching are correct. I wish I had the name of the guy that did the video. I sort of randomly watched it on YouTube. He was sort of like me, not super popular on YouTube, but definitely not a bad idea to invest in these things. Kind of excited about the idea of it. Whenever my next paycheck hits, I'm definitely going to put a little bit more money into it. So, something to keep in mind. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate the support, and stay tuned for more Counter-Strike related content. Have a good one, guys.